This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Why didn't I hit the button 5 minutes ago? We missed so much good conversation about Charlie Esser's medical history, invisibility, so much good stuff. So let's get into this so you can all hear our inner thoughts. And you'll never be the same. All right, Capes and Lunatics, episode 120 starts right now. Hello, welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. If it's your first time, you always remember your first. I am Phil. Joining me as always, that indestructible man in New Jersey,
Charlie, the Professor Esser, with the mighty Tristan behind me.
and the goddess of the storm in Florida, we have...
Hey y'all, it's Little Palifier.
Mark yourself safe, Lilith.
back down the hatch.
That's my sidekick. He knows all the Fortnite dances.
Oh,
I said you know all the Fortnite dances.
oh wait, so we can show you how to floss.
The crazy is he can't even hear the music because I got that.
I know.
He's just dancing. He just knows the music exists and the beat is in him.
Oh yeah, Luke can get
He gets that from me.
He has your rhythm.
I used to be a dancer. People never believe it, but I was. And every so often I go to a company Christmas party and I cut loose. And I got to watch the dang knees, but man, everyone's like, whoa, that is one great dancing fat guy, you know?
That's one funky white boy.
That is why.
He's just Elaine and Little Kicks. The Little Kicks.
That is why my old production company was called Naked Dancing Fat Guy Productions.
Oh, you had an old production company?
Yes, I have a production company. That's what we made Downriver Sucks under. It was a collaboration between Video Lightweight Productions and Naked Dancing.
Thank God we do these podcasts so Tristan can learn about his father.
Right?
I have lived a storied life. Well, he knows he's seen it. He just doesn't read the credits. But the other credits, it clearly
That's
says,
the most important part. Rude.
You work hard. I teach them. We sit, even if it's not a Marvel movie, we sit and we watch the credits.
I know.
Because those people worked hard on this film.
Oh, but
You hear Tristan, because I've given them this lecture. They worked hard on this film. It's like, I know. They worked hard on this film. They deserve to have the credit scene.
good lord. But Lil's brought up Elaine. We have to pick a Seinfeld episode, Charlie, because I think we're gonna do a live read when everyone's here.
Well,
think about it.
See this. Here's the thing. Do you want to be which kind of controversial do you want to be? Do you want to do the contest or do you want to do the wooden Indian?
Neither. We want to keep it light and fun.
Oh, okay.
We might do this stuff George, for all I know.
Serenity now.
We should do the
training. Basically the four of them, though.
We should do the Chinese restaurant.
Yes, we mentioned that since Defenders. So.
Yeah, that is the original concept pilot. Although they didn't do it for a few episodes in, but it's a bottle show. It has
Kramer.
Kramer's not in that.
No, he's not in that. No, he's not with the Chinese restaurant. No.
Oh well, we do have the Mater D. There's a lot of side characters, so we could.
Seinfeld 4?
Yeah. No.
We'll think of something.
It was Cartwright.
We got a new
Cartwright? Yeah, Cartwright.
well, I think once they left the restaurant at the end, spoilers, he was Seinfeld 4?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He yelled Cartwright. Who's Cartwright? Yeah. I'm Cartwright. All right, let's get to some news. Oh, Lilith, Charlie has a theory. I don't know if you saw this all over social media, but that we're going to... The Joker we see in the Joker movie isn't the real Joker. At the end, he will be revealed to be someone else.
No, I did see Charlie's post. Didn't you post that on Facebook?
Well, yeah. Well, what I originally said was that Robert De Niro was going to be revealed to be Joe Chill, and I did actually post it to another thread where I did make the actually explicit statement. Robert De Niro will be the Joker, and will be the Joker going forward in the DCEU.
You talking to me?
Mark my words. Because you need someone with that kind of gravitas to be the Joker. If you're going to make a Joker-centric universe, a villain-centric universe, you need a good Joker. And one thing that Robert De Niro, he has played, if you ever saw, well, it was actually not a very good film of his, but it was still a film of his, Mad Dog and Glory, where he's the killer who wants to be a stand-up comic. The choice of Robert De Niro in this film is so explicit to speak to Robert De Niro's aura that to imagine him not being the Joker at the end is ridiculous. And that they're giving us so much of this other, look at this Joker that nobody likes. Oh, he's going to be a great Joker. Trust us. We're artists. It's like, you're not fooling me, DC.
No, the reason why they picked Joaquin Phoenix, in my personal opinion, is because he was good friends with Heath Ledger, so they were just trying to, like, ride that train.
I think it's crazy. He's crazy in real life.
And for what it's worth, I actually think he's going to be great in this role. I think the role that they're giving him as sort of what they've already done is the idea of the proto Joker, and there is no one Joker. But I think that the one who's going to become the Batman villain is going to be Robert De Niro.
I don't know, man. I read the final script. I don't know, man.
Okay, well,
things change all the time, but I didn't like it. Hopefully they change that ending. That's all I have to say about it. Hopefully they change that ending.
Yeah, I'm scared that this thing's gonna be craptacular.
Well, and then we got Birds of Prey featuring Harley Quinn, which nobody wants. Right after that, so it's a poop storm coming, guys. Get ready.
Oh wait,
get your raincoat.
Oh, this is but that's the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, James Gunn is doing that, so it can't be all bad.
Well, he's doing Suicide Squad. There's a Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, there's the Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn, and now they're putting Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey comic book, and I'm just pissed. I'm over it. I'm just over it.
You know what? Harley's got a lot of potential. There's so much you can do with Harley.
No, not in the comic books, especially where it's all beaver jokes. No.
Oh well, no.
Birds of Prey.
She's. There's different kinds of humor you can do. I'm just saying. I'm not saying
only know beaver jokes.
Well, is it men writing it or women writing her?
It doesn't matter. Amanda Conner and Jimmy Pomoty did the beaver jokes.
Yeah, there was a man and a woman writing it.
I'm not going to say that a beaver joke doesn't have a place. Quite frankly, it's. I don't know, 1 minute and 32 seconds, or 45 seconds and see if it's done.
Also, since this is a reboot, does that mean Red Hood's not going to be in it?
They haven't even introduced the Robin yet, so don't worry about Red Hood. Oh, the original Red Hood. I don't know if Red Hood's going to be in the Joker movie, unless it's Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you do it.
Look at your resume out yet, Tristan Esser.
Anyway,
but yeah,
Damian Wayne, man, you give this man Damian Wayne.
Father, I know you like those trollops.
I'm just saying. The kid has said he's interested in being an actor someday, and I said, well, you live in Market One. There's productions on the East Coast. That's definitely a career you can pursue.
Don't foist DC movies on him. Don't do that to your son.
Yeah, well, as I posted in an article about Dave Bautista saying he passed up a DCEU film. It's like, yeah, Dave, you dodged a bullet. Unless it was going to be Sylvania, which is the one thing that's like, well, unless they were offering him Sylvania or Savannah. I just want to name him after the light bulb. Yeah. Which it's actually, I think, where they get with the name Sylvania. But anyway, I think he definitely dodged a bullet, unless that was the role they offered him. I mean, even Tom Hardy's Bane was not a good Bane. You don't want to be that Bane.
No, Mr. Wayne. But then I saw, I guess they got yet another
doesn't even talk like that. That's not how Bane talks.
I know. In the movie, though. Oh my lord! But I mean, and then I saw they got yet another director for the Flash movie. Lil, is that thing still going forward?
Bro, like I said on DC discussions, sure, Jan, sure. Whatever you say, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I don't care what. I don't care what Ezra Miller says. It's not happening.
I mean, how many years already they've been trying to get that thing going? And how many directors?
Isn't Ezra Miller no longer attached to it?
And that's what I thought. And then he just keeps talking about it. I'm like, is he doing the thing where he's still pretending? And they're like, oh well, I guess you can have your job back.
I mean, I could imagine. Look, the Flash is a solid property. I could imagine them saying, let's get a good director for this. Let's attach someone to. Here's the thing. Flash is a project. I'm sure it's on the big AT&T whiteboard of what do we have going forward. The Flash is a money character. You're going to make a Flash movie, just like eventually someday they'll make. They're going to wait for
season 8 of Flash with the TV show, which I think is going to be a Flash. I think that's their goal for all the DC shows now. Get it to season 8 and just.
But I mean, is Ezra Miller just pulling like a George Costanza? Like he doesn't know if he has the job, so he's just going to show up on Monday and,
I really feel like that's what he's doing. Like, I literally remember like them saying that he was no longer attached to the project, that was indefinitely postponed. It might get canceled like Cyborg got canceled because there's no DC EU. Everything that now they want in its own little bubble.
So, like, Ezra Miller's just talking like he already has the role in this movie that's going to be made, so if they do actually...
But then they did the director, and I'm just like...
Oh my lord! How many directors have they had for this thing?
Can you just get Antoine Fuqua? Just please call the man back. That's all I'm saying. Just call the man back. Swallow some pride. Eat some humble pie. He'll fix it. He'll fix it. I promise you.
Give it to Kevin Smith. He directed some of the episodes of the TV show. Well, at least one or two of the episodes of the TV show.
No offense. No offense. Don't mind him directing the movie. He's got other things to do that he needs to focus on, okay? We
Masters of the Universe.
History of not being able to do things on time, so don't give the man too much to do.
Yeah, too much stuff interferes with the weed. Oh, but
hey, man.
While Charlie's getting the kids out the door, speaking of Flash and that, did you see, I guess, Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl getting a series of audiobooks?
Yeah. Did you, like, I was at my comic book shop and they have, like, this book about crossovers. It's, like, a hardcover for, like, $14. And I was like, they actually got something out on time? One of the DC books actually came out on time. And it just snuck up on me. And I'm just like, wait, what? When did this happen? I don't even remember.
What, is it, like, current, like, crossovers, or?
Yeah, it had, like, it had Supergirl, the CW verse.
Oh.
Are you seeing it? I can't think of the name of it, but I just was like, I don't even remember when this was in, like, mentioned. It just showed up.
You remember the name of it or anything? Yeah, because this isn't ringing a bell with me.
No, I mean, I'm going today, and I'll shoot you the link, and it's definitely something we should maybe do a book discussion on eventually.
Oh.
We ever do another book club? No shade. Hashtag no shade.
I mean, was it like set in the? Is it set in like the?
It's set in the CW. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's like called crossovers or something. I said it was $14, and I was like, I meant to go look it up on Amazon when I got home, but I went to sleep. So, yeah.
So it's a novel based on the TV show?
Yeah, it's a hardcover novel. And no, not the DCU, the Arrowverse.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, no, that's why I said not the DCU. So okay, but is it? So here's my question: is it a novelization of the crossovers that have occurred, or is it a novel?
It's like I think he said it was like 4 different like stories or something like that.
So it is different stories, but it is the idea of an interconnected Arrowverse told in a novelized format, but not novelizations of previously existing crossover episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't find it. I'm trying to search for crossovers and.
Yeah,
In 20 things.
Okay, hold on, wait. I think I found it. Like,
okay.
Because it was the Flash's turn to do the book. Yeah, okay, yeah. It is Flash. Green Arrow's Perfect Shot, the Flash crossover. That's what it's called. There we go. And he said Supergirl makes an appearance in it.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think it's one of those kid books, maybe. Like the one that has the tornado twin. You know, the one that's in the series where the tornado twins are there.
Yeah, I got one of those books for Luca. We didn't like read through it yet, but yeah, it's like setting a continuity, like when he, if he had not done Flashpoint on the TV show.
Yeah, it's setting that continuity.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were
so it's a different continuity.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, Green Arrow and Green Arrow's Perfect Shot, the Flash crossover crisis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm on Barnes and Noble's website. They have the hardcover for $8.08.
Exactly. Look. I bought a short box, which is like $75. I was just like, I'm not filling a hardcover book for $14 when I know I could go on Amazon and get it for like $6.
Wait,
I brought these up for a book club or something. You're like, I don't know. Yeah, because
the Supergirl one that looked really poopy is what I said to it. Remember?
I think there's
Supergirl.
there's like one or two Supergirl books, and then what was it, like 3 Flash books or something? Yeah, and then this is a new. Yeah, because this Barry Liga wrote all the other ones too, I think.
Wait, Lilith, you spent $75 at that comic book store, and they didn't just give you the book?
Well, to be fair, they give me random discounts like all the time, and he actually gave me a Bo Duke figurine for not figurine, but like the action figure. Don't ask. I was hoping
you like Bo Duke?
So he gave that to me for free. So it was just like,
So they gave you the hey, it's a girl in our comic shop discount.
No, I all the time. The guy's really cool.
Yeah, they want a girl to keep coming back.
Well, I mean,
I think I'm
single-handedly. Store actually has a woman who works there, so she's the owner's wife. But yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. So I missed that. Do you like Bo Duke? Are you a Bo Duke fan?
No, I mean, Dukes of Hazzard is kind of iconic. I really love the card. More of a fan of Jonathan Schneider, obviously best Pa Kent ever. Yeah. I was hoping they had the other guy or the car, but I was like, Bo needs a little love too. It's fine. If they had Daisy, that would have been freaking amazing.
Yeah. That's always the thing, is you always think that Bo is the dark-haired one, but actually that's Luke, and Bo is the blonde.
Yeah.
Unless it's the cousins.
We don't talk about that. Even I know that.
Man, I got so mad when they switched to the cousins on the cartoon. It's like, you don't even have to do that. It's a cartoon.
So does Lilith want to do a Seinfeld reading or a Dukes of Hazzard live reading?
No, we're not doing Dukes of Hazzard. Man, if it was Smokey and the Bandit, maybe.
Carly said he calls Uncle Jesse. Oh, they're your Roscoe P. Coltrane all day.
I would. Yeah, I mean, I could. Honestly, I would love to do all of the characters that aren't the main characters, which is Roscoe, which, oddly enough, tends to be Roscoe, Boss Hog. I'd love to do Boss Hog.
Oh, your accent.
Meanwhile, our audience, because our audience is like 25 and under.
Yeah, so I don't know if they know what the Dukes of Hazzard are.
You can introduce them.
They're like, wasn't that film with that guy from...
Wasn't that with Jessica Simpson in the short shorts? Yeah. If they even remember that. You damn fetuses.
With Johnny Knoxville.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville.
Was it Stifler? And Johnny Knoxville or somebody else?
I think it was Johnny Knoxville and Stifler. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Who was Stifler? But I couldn't remember what his actual name is.
He's got 3 first names, so he's likely to be a serial killer in 20 years. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah, but then it's like saying James Vanderbeek is. It's.
Oh my God! No, don't. I love James Vanderbeek, but not because of Dawson's Creek. Because of Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, where he plays this fictionalized version of himself. It is so. And it's got Kristen Ritter in it. It is so freaking funny. It's 2 seasons. I think it's a total 12 episodes. You guys should binge it. Just saying. You'll thank me later.
Oh yeah.
I've only heard good things.
That Dukes of Hazzard movie. Yeah, Jessica Simpson as Daisy Duke. Yes, Sean William Scott Stifler, Johnny Knoxville, Willie Nelson
was Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, Willie Nelson, Burt Reynolds as Boss Hog. Yes, it's coming back.
Which is, I don't know. It was always weird having a svelte Boss Hog. I didn't know if I felt that.
Yeah. Oh, Linda Carter.
bodies, it's a thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I love Burt Reynolds. Don't get me wrong; he was good in the role. I just like, but is that really Boss Hogg? It's like, it's like when they made the Twilight Lobo. It's like, not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not Lobo.
Oh man, we're
Hello.
crash. All right. Well, I thought the thing.
And yes, I am eating mushrooms.
Magic. Oh. Anyway, I thought. We've been talking about the whole Spider-Man thing. The whole movie thing. So I read somewhere today that I guess Tom Holland must have shot a scene for the Venom movie, and Marvel was like, "Oh, yes. no, take that out."
Mm-hmm. Which is actually what I think. And this is what I really kind of felt about this whole falling out. That it has nothing to do with money. It's all about creatives, and it's all about people pooping on Sony for what they do and praising Marvel for what they do. For and the reality is that I think Sony is very mad at always being said. They're basically feeling like DC. They were saying, Sony, you can't make a Spider-Man film. And they're like, first off, you made 2 really good Spider-Man films. A third one that was maybe not as good.
Over how many ever movies?
Only 5. So they're almost at 50%. Plus they did Into the Spider-Verse, which everyone loved. So they can argue they're shooting, they're batting 1,000 or they're batting 500, which is a very good batting average. If you're batting 500, you are in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so they can argue, look, we are a Hall of Fame Spider-Man producer. Don't tell us we're not.
Oh.
I know. But this is how creatives get. This gotta remember, these are people who work in the arts. And as much as there's money to be made, everybody wants to be seen. It's like that scene in The Producers, where the way they get Debris in there, they say, this could win you a Tony. I forget Debris' first name. What is Debris' first name in the Producers?
God, it's been a million years since I even watched that thing. But.
I know. Yeah, but they say, this could win you the Tony, and they go, Tony. Not just in the musical. That's actually in the original. It's a scene that often gets cut from commercial versions, but it actually is there. The entire Roger Debris scene is in the original, and it is in the in the musical as well. And it is this idea that they want to be respected as people who know how to make films. And so I do think that that's a big problem of it. And I think that this was the thing, was Disney saying, no, you're not putting our Spider-Man in your Venom. Don't get your Venom on our Spider-Man, and we won't get our Spider-Man on your Venom. It's like, you're trying to get our Spider-Man all over your Venom. It's like, no. If you're going to do a Venom and you want our Spider-Man in there, it's going to be our Spider-Man with our Venom. And we're not saying Tom Holland can't be that Venom, but we need to have that creative control. And Sony didn't want to give that up. Sony was like, no, we don't want to give you creative control. Because we still feel, regardless of the money being made, we feel we can tell a good Spider-Man story. We feel we proved it with Into the Spider-Verse. We feel we got people to love Venom in a very real way. And we just wanted to tie it together. And Disney said, no, you don't get to tie it together like that. We get to tie things together. If you want to do your own separate Venomverse, we're letting you. But know that our Spider-Man doesn't go into your Venomverse unless we get final approval on it. And that's what it's really all about. It's all about creative control. And Disney was hoping that when they made $1 billion with their Spider-Man, that Sony would say, okay, you're making us $1 billion, we'll let you have creative control. Because honestly, I think it is more valuable to Disney beyond the money from the films. It's more valuable to Disney to have the creative control.
The complete control.
Yeah, rather than having the money. That's why I think this is not about money. This is all about control. Who gets to run Spider-Man? And Sony says, we don't want to just cast a check. We want to make Spider-Man films. And that's the problem. That's where they're at right now. That it's not about the money. No amount of money aside from buying out the movie division of Sony from Sony Electronics, which, honestly, quite frankly, sometimes Sony is like, do we really need a movie division? It's kind of like Hughes Corp and its movie division. They're like, why are we making movies? We make drill bits. That's our job. And that is what Howard Hughes originally made. His father made drill bits, and they made the best drill bits in the world, invented the carbide drill bit, which basically opened up a huge amount of oil in the U.S. because so much of U.S. oil was underneath shale rock. So, fun fact for those who want to know.
Yeah, the kids don't know the Hazzard, but they'll know Howard Hughes. Okay.
He's the basis of.
I know Howard Stark, Howard Hughes. I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you don't need that much to know who. It's in the comic book. Honestly, if you're a comic book fan, you should know who Howard Hughes is and what his relationship is to both Howard Stark and Tony Stark.
I know.
I won't apologize for that.
Well,
you said you only wanted to talk about one this week.
Yeah, Lilith.
Anyway.
Oh, but no, I don't want the one other thing I wanted to get to is we were talking about it this week because, after they posted that Shazam 9 issues 9 through 11 are getting postponed indefinitely, where I was like, what the hell is going on? Because even looking, what? Canceled. I know. But it's like even looking at Newsarama.
Take a hint, okay?
But it's like even looking at Newsarama, it's just like there's all these DC books delayed. There's even Marvel books delayed. I'm like, what the hell is going on in comics that the big two can't get stuff out on time?
Join me in the Indieverse. It's great, guys. I'm telling you. I got Boom, Valiant, IDW. I got Archie. I know. Don't start with me, Charlie.
Time travel.
I wasn't even going to mention Archie.
Time traveling Jughead. What?
Yes, exactly.
I'm actually fascinated by time traveling Jughead. I got no problems with time traveling Jughead.
What you love?
No, time traveling Jughead would absolutely be in my wheelhouse. Oh, and when I saw Jughead, I looked at the first issue. I don't know. It just didn't jump out at me. I don't know what it was. It just it didn't give me a time variance authority vibe to it yet. But maybe I'll get to Jughead Time Cap eventually.
Wait for the trade on that one.
Yeah, well, okay. And that's the thing. It's like as with any comic book, you never know if it's actually going to be worth your time until you read it, and so you have to make your choices very difficultly. And it's why really it's like when you get to something like the Power of X and House of X, they're not books that I would normally buy. And from the few I have read, I'm like, is this really a story that I want to read? I mean, I'm not saying they're bad stories. I'm not saying they're not enjoyable stories. It just, is this a story that I'm going to spend my money on? That's me. I'm not the entire comic book audience.
All right.
One more time for the producers in the back.
I'm not a fan of the House of X, Power of X series that you wanted to talk about. Go, Lilith.
Oh, you're not? No, yeah, last week. I don't blame you. Like, it's getting a little convoluted and repetitive, so I really don't.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mind the last, what was that, House of X was last week? Yeah, I didn't mind it. I said, that was not a horrible story, but I was also like, just because it's a good story, is this, as an arc, a story I want to read? Am I invested in Moira McTarget, Woman Unhinged from Time? The time travel implications kind of bug me in a bit, and it's not something I'm feeling 100%. If Magneto does not seize nuclear weapons at the start of his career, I don't know what I'm reading anymore. It's like, are we saying that all of continuity is out the window? Is this all, and honestly, I do believe it's all going to be revealed. This is all Franklin Richards' fault, as always. Put the universe back where you found it. Franklin Richards, he just, dude, really,
I just think I don't know. The X-Men are pod people or something. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're throwing out there. It's like even though this week and last week there was no time travel involved. I mean, there's still like time travel's basically building the foundation here because Moira's reincarnations.
Situation.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I mean, the X-Men are characters for whom time travel is indicative to their characters, so I get the idea of turning into the curve.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
You're breaking up, Lil.
Yeah, it's the hurricane. We're gonna blame the hurricane. Yeah, they're turning into the curve, and I get why you do that. But again, I'm not an X-Men fan. That's the thing. It's like if I were an X-Men fan, I probably would be all over this book. But I was never really an X-Men fan. You know, at most I've read the New Mutants.
So that's not. They're not converting, and what are we even doing?
If they're not rebooting, you said?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
it's like.
Well, that was my. Well, that's what I think they're doing. It's like they're doing like a soft reboot. I think they're like, getting this whole process is going to get them to wherever, version Disney puts out,
Well, yeah. Although I got to imagine that there's this idea that maybe that in this universe, okay, the continuity is solid, and we'll see this in the next episode. And here's what it comes down to, because in the next week we're getting the next issue. It's not next week, but maybe next month. We're going to get the next issue of Franklin Richards talks about the universe he created. And we're going to see how he approaches the Magneto story. We have Magneto in the 40s. We got him mentioned there, and he is clearly a villain in this story. So we're going to see if and how he integrates Moira McTarget into that story. It's like she became unhooked from time. Maybe when I rebooted the universe, I kind of that was an oopsie on my part. Oopsie. And she became unhinged from time and started living in a circular loop. Although, not for nothing, I kind of feel Destiny was lying to her when she said you only have 12 of these times to go because if you die before you reach your mutant maturity, you won't have this power. Except that she clearly has that power already at birth because she has the memories from birth. So, in fact, she actually says she has memories while she's in the womb. So She has prenatal memories. So obviously, her dying before she reaches the age of mutant onset at 13 means that she would not. I don't buy it because
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that reincarnation power is weird because it's almost like a finite power. Because after 10 or 12, she's done and can't reincarnate anymore. I was like, everybody else's mutant powers last basically their entire life, but it's reincarnation. It's really
the argument Destiny made is that and essentially it's this idea that Destiny made the statement that if you die before your mutant power manifests, you will die for a real time. Maybe it's suggesting, and I guess this is the suggestion, is that while she has the memories before she hits puberty, once she hits puberty is when the ability to travel back in time occurs. So once she hits that 13, 14-year-old point, then she can travel back in time. And, that's a possibility. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it. It was an interesting choice to make. It's kind of a big risk. But I got to imagine that their official statement at this point is that all of Marvel history up to this point is static. That, yes, she went back, but each time she manipulated her own situation herself. And then when she meets Xavier in that part in the most important scene in Marvel history, she, and really what it is she's in a Groundhog Day scenario.
Yeah.
Where nobody else has those memories, and it's only if she allows them to have this knowledge of her. So, because I think there was a reboot after she had that moment where she sat with Charles Xavier, right? I think that was like, because that actually happened fairly early, so I actually think that was a different point in history. So, he may not have known that until later. And she maybe decided, look, I had to wait till this point, and now I'm going to let everyone know. Which makes more sense. That she's been doing this. But then again, she also died in the last reboot, but I guess Franklin decided to bring her back. You know,
Don't call it a reboot.
don't call it comeback. She's been here for years. Yes. Yeah. So that's Moira. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's good, but it's just not. It's not something I'm feeling. It's not something I've ever been necessarily feeling. But I've never been that big. It's like, I love the mutant. I like the Mutant Massacre. I like but I mostly like that because of the conflict between Apocalypse and the High Evolutionary. Was that Mutant Massacre or was that the Evolutionary War?
What?
With the Moloids? I don't know. Where you find out that one Moloid actually was evolving, and the High Evolutionary was killing off the Moloids, and then, of course, but Apocalypse didn't like that because he felt that was outside of natural selection, if I recall correctly. So that might have been the Evolutionary War. That's mostly about the Moloids.
Maybe.
Because I love Moloids. Which is why I love Future Foundation with the Moloids.
But, I mean, this is like the 6th week of this House of X, Powers of X stuff, and I just feel like they're still not giving us all the answers. So it's like...
Well, and they're not until the very end. They got to string us along, make their money, Right.
Well, I kind of get the feeling that the actual final outcome is going to be that this is all an alternate time branch, and then she's going to die, and then she just decides she's not going to... That at the very end, it's like, nothing works, I'm just going to keep to myself. I don't know. Maybe that's the final outcome.
Okay, sure. Fine.
I don't know. I thought the whole point was everyone has to work together.
Yeah, except maybe that fails too, because in the end of the day, nobody wants that working together crap.
What did everyone think of Emma Frost walking in the court?
I don't know. I didn't read it. So.
Oh, you didn't read it? Oh, I thought... Oh, okay.
No, I didn't have the chance. No, I'm talking about the ones that already came. I didn't have the chance to... I had a Marvel 1000 to read, Philip.
I know. We discussed that on Super Connectivity.
And my eyes are going, see, you don't even have glasses. You have perfect vision. You can comic books. I like that. Like, in order to read my... I have to take out my like this. I do this,
Oh, that's my job. Comic.
Oh, and don't forget to mention Tyler's Batman Superman #1 review.
Oh, yes, yeah. We also have, Tyler and I just reviewed the new Batman Superman #1 issue. So, scroll down.
Is that our I feel like that's our hashtag now. That's our thing.
Hashtag scroll down.
But I did ask Tyler this. Lilith, you're more the expert here. Do you think they're like over milking Batman, between the Batman Who Laughs and then you got Flashpoint Batman over in Tom King's Batman series? Do you think they're...
Yeah, they're doing the same thing that they did to Superman back in the early 90s with the death of Superman. Like, and they've been doing this with Batman for quite a while, and the numbers are down all around, even on Bat books. So maybe consolidate and make it special. Just maybe my thought. I don't know. I think it is time to reconsolidate stuff and not have so many books and spin-offs and miniseries.
So you're saying quality over quantity?
Yeah, definitely at this point, because they have everybody stretched so thin. I don't think it's really a secret about that either, that everybody's stretched so thin over there that, nothing can get out on time, and there's really big shakeups with the editors, hashtag fire Dan Dido. Get him out of there. Everybody knows what the problem is. I'm sorry.
But I mean, I don't know. Is Marvel even that way to a certain extent? Because it seems like they.
Well, Spider-Man definitely, because now we have that Absolute Carnage, and then we have the Lethal Protector, and so on and so forth. It's just like, look, bro, I can get down with the Venom stuff, but now you're doing Carnage, and it's just like, okay. Come on, let's calm down.
But I just mean both companies. It seems like they have like the same stable of like 5 to 8 writers that are like, oh yeah, we need you guys to put out like 100 books a month, and it's like, what?
Exactly.
Well, Dan did it, so can you.
Oh, jeez. But we want the art to be so much more.
Dan is a once in not even a generation. Like that only comes around every so often. So I don't think that anybody can expect somebody to put out that kind of volume. And if we really want to get into that whole volume thing, we can. But I won't.
And even then, they weren't putting out the amount of books they're putting out now.
No. Yeah. And of course, he relied very heavily on his artist. That was
exactly.
Dan always said. It's like, yeah, like I give, if it's an artist I trust, I just say, here's what I want to happen. Then he would draw the story, and I don't like that, so I'll just write different dialogue.
Exactly. So.
Which I love a lot of their writers on both sides, but it's just like, it seems like they're making them all right, like 20 books a piece.
And everybody keeps wondering why people are kind of like rushing over to the indie side and wants, that owner creator control and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because, who wouldn't want it? It's, the workers control the means of production, which when you're an artist really is literally true. You have, you have the product, you have the capital that they want. In a capitalistic society, the man who has the capital or the woman who has the capital, has the power. And the fact of the matter is that, hey, we always say, hey, if they'd hire me, you and Lilith, or me, Lilith, and Phil, we could fix him, Tyler too. Get him in there, even though he's not showed up today. But we can all get together and we can make their comics great again. The fact of the matter is that, no, they're not going to do that, because who the heck are we? Is someone going to buy the book by Charlie Esser or by Phil Perich? They probably would buy Lilith Hellfire, just because the name is so cool. It's like, oh, this one was written by Lilith Hellfire? I don't know who that is, but I'm buying that book. I know me, if I saw written by Lilith Hellfire and I didn't know who Lilith Hellfire was, I'd say, well, I'm going to buy that book.
That god chick, Lilith Hellfire.
I don't know who it is, but goodness me, that's a name that expresses itself as I could write a really good comic book. So, but really, we're just running on one cylinder there. That's all I'm saying. So, from that perspective, the creatives have the power, because Brian Michael Bendis, when DC says we would like you to write our books for us, he says, well, here's what I want, and here's what we're gonna do, and he gets his Superman. He gets what he wants because he is this name that controls the means of production.
And now it looks like he's bringing back Legion of Superheroes.
Sure, why not?
He really wants the whole Superman like family. Like he does, and it's starting to annoy me.
Well, you know what? First off, I like Legions of Superheroes. I like a Superboy in the mix. And I like the idea of
go home.
Superboy has his place, okay? It can't all be Connor Kent, okay? Or whatever his name was, He can't all be Ben Reilly. I know you love Ben Reilly, but they can't all be clones, Lilith.
Okay, now Ben Reilly back.
What?
I said, now I'm sending both your gifts back. Come down and now nobody gets presents. Are you happy? I'm kidding. I'm not petty like Phillips.
I don't need gifts. Anyway, but no.
But I think when you are at the editorial level, like a Dan, I think you need to manage your talent pool better. Is what that boils down to. And what goes for one person for everybody too, as well. Just saying.
Now, are you saying that Dan Dido is two hands off of an editor as opposed to being two hands on of an editor?
And he also has his little group of cronies, which every workplace has that,
Mm-hmm.
But like, good for the goose is good for the gander. I think the rules should apply to everybody equally across the board, no exceptions.
Be gentle with the package.
No, in this case, you can't be gentle with the package.
I mean, I can see the argument. The argument is solid. I just think that, I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know exactly what Dan Dido is doing, per se. Like I say, to me, the best editor was Jim Shooter, and everyone hated him.
I want to get a hold of Shooter so bad, just so you can talk to him.
I mean, I don't know what I'd say to him, except I really love your work. I mean, Secret Wars 2 changed my life, and that's the whole of it, I don't know as deep as, like a lot of people do. I don't know about his Legions of Superheroes stuff. Though, obviously, Bendis loved Shooter's Legions of Superheroes. See, I get the feeling me and Bendis we get along because I think we're both in that same Shooter era and that Shooter fanboy quality. And Shooter is very tall, which is, I respect tall people. So,
everybody does. It's a thing. Authority.
I do respect his authority. But, I know that he bristled with his creatives, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they put out a lot of stuff that defined at least my Marvel universe, but that led into all the Marvel universes that we've had since then. I don't think you get the 90s Marvel universe without the 80s Marvel universe, and I don't think you get the aughts and the teens Marvel universe without everything that happened in that 40-year timeline of my life when I was the most important person in the universe.
Well, yeah, I mean, just on the last episode we recorded for Quantum Zone, scroll down, we were talking about Shooter a little bit because, we were talking Starbrand, and, he was the driving force behind Starbrand for a while before he...
Yeah.
And that, new universe, he was very...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can get behind Kickers Incorporated. I always felt that Kickers Incorporated looked like a money grab. But to me, that's like the one undone knot in the tapestry of the new universe.
Yeah.
And yeah. But anyway, but yeah, Jim Shooter was the driving force behind the new universe, and it was the idea of getting back to the idea of the world outside your window. But again, it runs up against what you call the production schedule problem, which is that you can write a story, but you can't keep on telling stories in real time. That you can't have a month pass between each time you do another installment of the story. And that's why even at the end of the new universe, it basically essentially collapses in on itself because it just couldn't maintain the kind of reality that, and again, like you tried to do when they did the Ultimate Universe. It's like every time Marvel does the secondary universe where they reboot it all, it always collapses because in the end you kind of need and want that sliding time. Oh, which got called out in Marvel 1000, where they actually Bob Grayson makes the fact that the Dark Rider who he finds actually. He has been, he's full of sliding. Was that Bob Grayson or was that Black Panther? I forget. Oh, no, it was Night Thrasher. Night Thrasher is who found him and makes the point that he's corrupted by sliding time. So I have no idea when he died. It could have been right now or it could have been 40 years ago. So again, sliding time becomes canon, and I love that. And this is Marvel turning into the curve. I love Marvel turning into the curve. I love anyone who turns into the curve because that's what you're supposed to do when you're skidding.
I mean, with that, you kind of have to turn into the curve because it's like if they don't want their characters to age, so you kind of have to steer into that skid of sliding time.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that is what they've done, and they've done it well. And I really enjoy that. And I really, and again, getting back to Peter David and Rick Jones in that scene where we've got the bald Rick Jones, which is an interesting choice. It's like, so are you cosmically aware? No, I'm comically aware. It's like you wouldn't understand it if I explained it to you. Which is cool to now establish that Rick Jones is actually comically aware. I don't know if that's ever been established before this episode, but now it is true. Just like She-Hulk, he is comically aware.
I know. I was like, oh, he's like Deadpool now?
Well, you know what? Like everyone says, like She-Hulk was Deadpool before Deadpool, and Howard the Duck was She-Hulk before...
Maybe you could say Rick Jones became comically aware after his contact with the Supreme Intelligence.
You could say it any way you want.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, wouldn't that explain so much if the Supreme Intelligence was comically aware?
Yeah.
And you know who else is comically aware that no one ever talks about?
Who?
The Watcher.
Oh yeah.
He's always talking to us. The Watcher's like, yeah, just so you know, I know you're there. I'm the Watcher. I literally watch things. And,
What about She-Hulk? She-Hulk used to be comically aware.
Well, the argument is she still is,
Yeah. But they don't play it up as much.
No, well, they do sometimes. They do when it's, in fact, actually, the Hulk is comically aware. And that's actually this idea. This is established in the continuity. Mm-hmm. That the Hulk has the ability to see beyond the panel. To see extra-dimensional beings who float around him. But that only when he's the Hulk, and usually only when he's the childlike Hulk.
Yes.
But She-Hulk can do it whenever she so desires, but unlike Gwenpool, she knows it's better for her to not mention it, because it really confuses people. Like, Deadpool and Gwenpool both don't know any better, is the argument to be made. But then again, as in the Deadpool annual a few years back, he says, I am Pagliacci, I am the clown that cries, That it's all just sweet Pagliacci.
So Lil, for the Disney Plus series, should She-Hulk be able to break the fourth wall?
Oh, they're gonna do it, because meta is the thing now.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to know what character's going to have, or what Easter egg they're going to have that's going to be John Byrne.
Some guy in a courtroom staring at her, drooling.
Yeah. John Byrne's going to be in this show. He's going to get his Stan Lee cameo. He's going to get his moment where he gets to be there. He's going to say, "Kid, get off my lawn."
Oh, Philip, are you saving Nightwing 63 for? Didn't Nightwing come out?
Last week, Kristen and I already covered.
Oh, that was last week.
Nightwing news, which already hit the podcast. So, Lilith Hellfire, you should be listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
You got to scroll down.
It's so many.
We are a powerhouse of podcast content.
We are prolific.
We are.
We could program our own, satellite radio station or
Sirius FM or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Sirius.
Trust me, Rob is already in negotiations. Rob is out there. Rob is like, look, I got these group of idiots. They don't know. I got so much content. Please, I can fill it five radio stations.
Oh yeah, we could be on 24/7 and I'd probably not repeat that much.
Exactly. And Rob is out there. He's trying to make the bills for us. Like, they don't know no better. They just talk about comic books nonstop. They're wonderful.
I was hoping our Stan Lee would be here this morning.
Yeah, well, I was hoping that's why I'm talking smack. I had to draw him out. You got to talk smack to draw him out.
Yeah, you got to say Rob's name at least 3 times, and then he'll show up.
He's like Candyman or Beetlejuice, yeah.
Yeah, you got to get that out there. Then he's got to come and defend himself and say, guys, I do what I do for you, for your betterment. Trust me.
Ready?
He's out. He's probably at the cafe doing something. The Blue Cafe.
He works hard for us, so I got no problem. And honestly, I'd be talking like this if no one was there. I'd be sitting in my chair saying, "And you know the thing." And Tristan would say, "Dad, who are you talking?"
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Tristan would be like, "What?"
Yeah, well, Tristan's already gone. I'd still be talking. And here's the thing about John Byrne: what nobody gets.
Dad, why are you ranting at that wall?
I did want to shout out one thing, though. I don't know if you picked it up for Luca or not. Superman of Smallville #1, which it finally came out, but it's been out. I want to say they did a preview for Free Comic Book Day, maybe. But I read this a while ago, but it finally actually is out for everybody. And it was so cute and adorable. This is the heart of Superman, but it's about Superboy actually, technically, because he's 13.
No, I didn't get that. So, what is it again? Superman of
Smallville #1.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't get that, but it's good.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a Smallville after all. Which, if they had used that line in there, they would have gotten sued.
Yeah.
Definitely. It is a $10 book, but I will actually say that it is worth it. The story is by Art Balthazar, and I forget what Franco's first name is, and then the writer too is Art Balthazar and Franco. So yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. It kind of gives you actual Smallville vibes. But he actually looks like a 13-year-old instead of a 31-year-old guy.
Nice. But we have to do our live reading because you're like Art. I was like, Art Vandelay?
Importer, exporter.
Oh! I'm in the import-export business.
I always wanted to pretend to be an architect, Jerry.
You know what's crazy is that we should do the trial episode. We should actually just jump right to the end. With Art Vandelay.
Now that is controversial. That finale is more controversial than the Soprano finale. Okay?
First off, the Sopranos finale was perfect. It was,
but it's still controversial.
Doesn't mean it wasn't perfect. Look at me, I'm controversial, and am I not perfect? Bobby the Brain Heenan. Controversial, but perfect. I'm not a fancy man. I'm not. But yeah, and not for nothing, Lilith, you got to court the controversy. You got to turn into this kid. My favorite line.
Not if we want advertising, darn it.
Look, there are
Everyone sponsors the advertisers. We got to keep this low key, unless we're all okay with Pornhub.
Whoa! Why
I am more than okay with Pornhub, Lilith. Okay, I don't know what advertisers you are courting, but if Pornhub had ads on our feeds, I would be like, yes. I don't even go to Pornhub. I find them riddled with viruses, but not like XNXX.com.
Website or the numbers? What?
Sorry, there's XNXX.com. It's the indie porn.
It's XXNX.com. Get it right. I know.
No, it's XNXX. No, it's NXXX. I have it. It's saved in my browser.
Well, if we have to get the Patreon going, we gotta have a porn episode. Oh my lord!
I'm just saying.
A sexually adventurous freak.
Sometimes. When the one's left me.
What?
Hey, did you get Tristan Absolute Carnage Lethal Protector or?
No, Tristan. After the Marvel Zombies fiasco, he's like, he loved Marvel Zombies, but he didn't know that I had spent his money without his officialized permission because his mother did not explain to him the economics of it. We made good with him. But yeah. No, I didn't pick it up. Although I think I actually did reach out to him to ask him if he wanted stuff, and he said no. Honestly, he's not a big Carnage fan. He's much more of a Venom fan than a Carnage fan. I think he likes certain versions of Carnage, but I don't think he's a big fan of Cassidy Carnage.
He likes symbiotes.
Oh, okay.
He likes symbiotes, but they have to follow a certain code or something. Yeah.
Well, you want that. I mean, I got him the. He likes it's one of these things. He likes the design. He doesn't necessarily like the character.
Mm.
We've all been there.
I want to shout out that book I read like a couple of months. It's called Mall Number One, and it kind of reminds me of like consumerism because it's obviously the end of the world and it's at a mall and it's like this tribalism and it's really cool and the art is really fantastic. The art is by Zach Hartong and the story is by Michael Marici and Gary Dauberman. If you're into Volt, then you probably are very familiar with these guys. But yeah, and it's only a $4 book, but it really feels like I would have paid $5 for it. It's the artwork is really good. It's a nice thick amount of pages. Shut up, Philip.
But you were kind of breaking up at the beginning. You said it's Mall Number One?
Yes, okay. Mall Number One.
Okay.
It's really good.
You made him walk away.
By Vault Comics.
You made him walk away.
Because it was, bitches.
What?
You don't remember that job?
No, I'm just like, why are we using that job?
I don't know. I'm trying to fill the void without a live Charlie Esser here.
I don't care if you call me a whore or you call me your princess.
That's the best Charlie Esser job. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be so weird playing those live when you guys are here.
Yeah, do you read anything by Volt Comics at all?
What is it, Vault Comics?
I think that Volt, like a bank vault.
I'm not too familiar with them.
Yeah, I think they're like the newest indie comic books that are really cool. Also, if you're into that book called The Necromancer's One, you might be a little lost because it's based on another Song for the Dead story. But yeah, I was like, I think this might be my Game of Thrones replacement. It's really good.
I mean, do they have a website? I might check them out.
Yeah, of course they have a website.
Oh, but speaking of people who aren't the big two, everyone stay tuned for me and Lilith's big review of Spawn 300 coming soon.
And 301.
Yes, I think that's a month after. But yeah, I just mean this coming week. Yeah, Lilith and I will be covering Spawn 300.
Yay, Spawn 300. Got all the way to 300. Call us when you're at 1,000.
That's a good accomplishment. It is.
Yeah, I was going to say, love him or hate him. I mean, Todd McFarlane got it, continuously published since, 92?
Well, that's good then. God bless him. Yeah. I mean, no, Spawn's cool. I like Spawn, I like the cartoon.
I think there was something I saw online. I don't know if
you need a talking dog, though. I will say that.
I don't know what convention it was, but I guess he must have had a panel for Spawn 300, and like he was shaking everyone's hand as they were like walking into the room or whatever. So I mean,
yeah, well, I can see him as a glad-hander. Glad-hander. Not for nothing you had to do that.
Oh yeah. He's images Stanley.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, you got to have a guy who goes out there and says, "Hey," and for what it's worth, the guy's a great artist. I like it. He does lean into the grotesques, but that's his wheelhouse.
I mean, with Spawn, you kind of have to.
Yeah, but even when he's not doing
Spawn, the toys, don't get me started on the toys.
Well, he did he what's it? It was in the Marvel Knights Punisher. And he was doing the art on that, and I mean, but it's okay. I don't mind that. That's grotesque is a very legitimate art form. As long as you don't weave too much into unfortunate ethnic stereotypes, it's perfectly okay.
He's staring into his skid.
He's steering into his kid. Well, that's how you maintain control. So yeah, I love McFarlane. He's great in that, and for what it's worth, I will always say that John Leguizamo was a great clown. It's a redemptive quality of that film. I'm going to say it right now. John Leguizamo as the clown was great.
Oh yeah, no arguments there.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to say anything else in that film was great, but John Leguizamo, he caught that character just fine.
It was like it was 1997.
John Leguizamo's just a really cool guy.
It was 1997.
Yeah.
It was 1997. There were a lot worse superhero movies out that year. Batman and Robin, Steel.
We don't talk about those, Philip.
I know, but I'm just saying it wasn't the worst of that year.
Yeah, well, Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't know.
He's no fear, no Abdul Jabbar when it comes to acting. That's what I'm saying.
Oh Lord,
I'm big all over. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He is a polymath. He is an actor, a writer. He is a triple threat. He also plays the basketball game. So yeah, there you go. He plays basketball, and he's a writer. And he's a great actor. So you put it all together, he's a triple threat. I haven't seen him dance. I don't know. Usually dancer's the third in the triple threat, which is like, is that really threatening?
Might be a decent dancer. He's no Charlie Esser, but
Oh yeah. Well, that's actually unless you're Tommy Tune, being that tall and being a dancer is not that easy.
No,
get a lot of joint issues, and he's already been playing the basketball, so he may have already burnt out his joints on basketball. He may not be able to dance as well as he'd like to. I'm sure he can do a nice little, to the beat kind of rhythm, but I don't think he's doing the backflips that a nice short dancer. You want that short body if you're a dancer. But that's the mistake they always make in ballet. You got these tall dancers. And it's just, the leverage is all wrong. But you get a short dancer, man, they could dance forever, do backflips. They're doing great.
Oh, I can't wait till we're all on the same note. On that note. All right, are we done? I think Lil's had enough.
And if you know who Tommy Tune is, leave us a message.
You'll get a no prize.
You will get a no prize. Enough said, no prize.
I got a flamingo bottle opener.
Ooh. Well, that's a yes prize. Actual prize.
Very used.
No, it's still in the package. That's why I said still in the package.
Oh, okay.
You can't have my Iron Man bottle opener. Ironic, I know.
Did you say Iron Man?
Because he's an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought you meant you and Marvel. I was going to think, whoa.
Well, I was actually thinking because a bottle opener is kind of like a can opener. So it's but that would be a church key. If it was an Iron Man church key, that's doubly ironic. Church key is where you have the sharp opener on the one end and the flat opener for the bottles on the other.
Ah. All right. We're done. All right, everyone. Send us your thoughts. Hey, send us what episode of Seinfeld do you want us to do a live read of? Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/capesandlunatics. Hey, we even have a Facebook group. Go follow us at facebook.com/group/capesandlunatics. It's the Capes and Lunatics Cloakroom. At Capes Lunatics on Twitter, Capes and Lunatics on Instagram. Check out Work in Progress. You don't need a bottle opener to get in. capesandlunatics.org. Go subscribe to the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel and our weekly newsletter, capesandlunatics.home.blog. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And you can watch us live on our Facebook, our Twitter, and at getvocal.com/channel/capes. Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs, I'm on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. And just for my sidekicks and Capes and Lunatics peeps over on the gram, you can find me at Lilith Hellfire 69.
Dong is a medical term. Fight me, nerds.
Charlie Esser.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way that our mothers and fathers once did long ago, you can do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet all sorts of things, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to Cloak and Dagger and the upcoming Disney Plus, which is on a weekly release schedule, which if they don't do at midnight, I might just live tweet.
One a week.
One a week at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE. Yeah. ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing!
I was wondering if you're going to get through that without Tristan doing it in the background for you.
Well, he's gone now. He's off with Grandpa. So that's what all the yelling was about. I muted it so you didn't hear.
I know. Thank you.
That's why you hugged me just before you left. If you're watching the video. If you want that whole story.
Instead of free.
That was the story.
Anyway, for another week, we have been the Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics! Oh my god!
Wow! Look at the... You really faked it, didn't you?
I don't think that was fake. That was real excitement from Lilith Hellfire.
Did you enjoy our ampersand last week? We did it together perfectly.
Yes, it was fun. And it's funny because we actually don't even use an ampersand in our logo.
I know.
Which is why I do it, because I'm contrary.